Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Today we have a couple little maintenance items planned for the Colorado, so let's jump right into it. All right, guys, and some of the maintenance we're going to be covering today is going to be new windshield wipers for the truck. I just had an inspection done and I was told these needed to be replaced. They are streaking a little bit and I've been wanting to get new ones anyway, so I bought a set from Advance Auto. We'll be picking those up later today, but the big one is going to be under the hood. There's a couple different things under here we need to maintain to have what is a nice truck and, of course, have it function properly. So let's pop the hood and take a look. All right, so first thing I'm sure you guys are going to notice is that is pretty dirty, and so is that. So those are going to be two of the things we're going to take care of. Number one, I'm going to take my pressure washer with very minimal pressure and clean all this up, get all the dirt off, and maybe take care of some of the stuff that's stuck in there and under here. Basically, this doesn't necessarily impact the operation of the vehicle, but I do like to keep my stuff clean because, you know, you can't be obsessed about this stuff and not keep it clean. And then lastly, we're going to also go ahead and replace this plastic cover. As you can see, the little thing that folds back and forth here actually snapped off, and I found this online for a pretty cheap price. I believe it was about $10. I'll link it in the description down below if you guys are interested, because I'm sure this is a common occurrence on the Colorado or Canyon trucks. But anyway, we're going to jump into actually cleaning this. I'm going to go over the process with you because I am going to use a fairly decent pressure washer setup here. Like I said, I'm going to keep the pressure to a minimum using a specific nozzle, but if you guys are interested in any of the pressure washer items I have here, I'll link them all in the description below as well. I spent a lot of time setting this up and getting it perfected so it will work for me, my truck, and of course my ZR1, which is currently expecting new tires. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the maintenance part of owning the Colorado and keeping it nice. And of course, there is the interior. So as you can see, I have the floor mats out, everything vacuumed and cleaned up in here. So what we're going to do is actually also pressure wash the floor mats to make sure that they match the rest of the interior being all cleaned up. As you guys know, here in PA, we get some nasty winters, and I haven't had a chance to dive in and clean the truck up after this past winter yet. So we're going to go ahead and clean all the winter remnants off the floor mats, which of course is right here. So these have already been wiped down once, so what you're seeing here is just the remnants of what's left after already being cleaned off once. So we're going to go ahead and pressure wash these along with the engine bay to make sure that these things are perfectly clean to go back in the truck. That way we can kind of start summer on a nice note. And of course, the pressure washer gun determines how well this whole thing's going to work more than anything. Of course, I'll link all this stuff down below. This one has a built-in swivel, as well as being very easy to one hand. Like I said, this is one of the best pressure washer setups I was able to come up with. I piece parts from here and there, and I will link them all down in the description below for you guys if you're interested. And to help the cleaning power even more is a turbo nozzle. We're going to go ahead and put that on the end of the gun and see how much more cleaning power we can get. And the foam cannon to make this step even easier. This right here is the piece that broke off of right there. It's supposed to go right there just so you can bend it up and get to the positive battery terminal. But this is the replacement part right there. And right under here is the replacement part number, if you can see that. If not, I will also link it in the description down below. It's going to be real easy to change though. That one just pops off there. This one will just pop on, so no big deal. And then before we pressure wash, we're going to go ahead and replace this, because if you look, right on there it says no pressure, and on the fuse box it says no pressure washing. When I say pressure washing, we're really not going to put any pressure on this. I'm going to actually use my pressure washer, but it's not even going to be turned on. So it's just going to be whatever comes out of the hose naturally and more of a fan style spray, just to kind of move the dirt, and I'm going to spray a little bit of soap on here, let it sit, and then kind of hose it off. Nothing crazy here because nothing is really that crazy on here. It's just mostly dirt and dust, so I don't need any crazy chemicals to remove this stuff. But anyway, this comes off real easily. We can actually just lift right here and the whole thing will pop up like that. Don't want to pull it. You actually want to push it down and it will pop free of the plastic hinges, and then that's that. So to put on the new one is literally the reverse of that. We're going to open it like this, get those hinges right underneath there, just like that, and then you can actually just pull up on it and it will pop them right into place, and that's it. So then we just push that down and it's done. And for the intake part, if you guys have the cold air inductions like I do, it's just an Allen key to pop all 4 of these screws, and you can take the entire top off to clean inside. So just like that, it is off. So then we could just lift it right out of place and go ahead and clean up anything that might be in there. So I just recently put this on, so I know the filter's not dirty, but there is just some stuff in there that I'm probably just gonna vacuum out. That's how you know you're a little too obsessed with this kind of stuff, when you're vacuuming an air filter. But anyway, the air filter and the intake in general has held up pretty well. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it all in the description down below. I definitely recommend it, just for, if nothing else, the reusable air filter and the fact that you can keep the stock engine cover. We're gonna go ahead and pressure wash the top of the hood first. This is a little less sensitive because obviously there's no engine parts up there, so we can actually use some pressure on that part. I'm also going to do right here in front of the engine bay with the pressure as well, because that's pretty dirty. And got a little bit of the front bumper too, because it was covered in bugs. And now finally the engine bay. So like I said, we're still going to use the pressure washer attachment with no pressure. So as you can see, we're just hosing it off like we normally would. That way nothing gets too crazy and forces its ways into any kind of seals that aren't supposed to get wet. And then I'm going to soap it down and wipe it off with an actual microfiber mitt, and then we're going to hose off the soap. So this part's going to be pressurized because we're going to use the foam cannon and foam this all down. And then we're just going to take a microfiber wash mitt and wipe everything down. All right, and that is it. We'll just go ahead and hose it off. Because of the plastic engine cover, it pretty much covers everything up anyway, so there's not a whole lot of stuff you have to get to outside of that to make it look nice. Again, with no pressure, we'll just kind of wash everything back down, get all the soap, remaining soap off. It's actually pretty surprising how clean this came. I'm going to put a picture in here right now to show you what it looked like before. And then of course this is after. Much better, much more clean, definitely looks more OEM, basically brand new. Like I said, guys, it doesn't take a whole lot, especially if you have the engine cover in place, because it covers about 70% of the engine bay anyway, so as long as that's clean, the rest of it's gonna look clean. Now you can let it air dry, you can blow dry it, you can wipe it down with a towel, completely up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and let it air dry. It's such a nice day here in PA, the water's evaporating the second it hits the surface anyway. But let's go ahead and jump in the truck. We're gonna head up to Advanced Auto Parts to get the windshield wipers. Nice and clean floor mats with the clean interior. Everything feels so new again. I love it. All right, guys, We got some windshield wipers. So let's go get these things installed. And we're back, guys. So these are the wipers we went with, the Bosch Icons. I've always had good luck with these wipers. Plus, I think they look pretty cool. So nothing crazy or earth-shattering here, but if you guys don't know how to install windshield wipers on a Colorado, you're about to find out. Okay, so then with the new one, we'll just slide the hook through, grab onto this part here, and then you just pull up on it until you hear it snap into place. Just like that. And then you can snap the cover down and we are good to go. So we'll just repeat that for the driver's side and then we're done. And there they are, both done. So now I can easily pass inspection. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything we did here today, go ahead and shoot them in the comment section down below or shoot me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com, and I'll be sure you get any questions you may have answered. But as you can see here, the engine bay turned out almost perfect. Everything looks brand new once again. We replaced that little plastic covering right there. Like I said, I'll leave all that stuff down below if you have any questions about that. We also cleaned the air filter, or vacuumed it off to get all the loose debris that might have been sucked from the passenger side fender into there. And then we kind of cleaned off all the plastics on top and even this area right here. So as you can see, it doesn't take a whole lot to get it done. We took maybe 10 minutes to do it. Definitely something you're going to want to do from time to time just to keep things looking nice. But like I said, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because you're going to see a bunch more of this stuff coming very soon, guys. I will catch you in the next upload.